Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET means education that helps learners to acquire skills, knowledge, and attitudes needed to enter the world of work. How to meet this challenge? Well, we know debates around teacher competence in TVET always indicate trends towards greater professionalizations of teaching cadre. And it is argued that TVET teaching nowadays is becoming increasingly diverse and that workplace or industry experience. While a necessary and important criterion for TVET teaching is no longer sufficient on its own. The deepening of knowledge base on which TVET teaching rests in terms of both content engagement and pedagogic engagement is the basis for move towards increased professionalization. We can say it in the simple form, the basis of TVET teaching can be schematized as the interrelation between three foundational dimensions. First, formal subject or technical knowledge. Second, pedagogic expertise. Third, practical workplace experience. Okay, let's have a look first in terms of subject or technical knowledge base. We see in most countries there are different qualification pathways for the teachers of vocational subjects in TVET institutions, with the requirement of bachelor's degree always as the main distinguishing features between the different tracks. Teachers of general subjects in TVET institutions tend to follow the same degree qualification pathway as teachers in the academic schools. Secondly, pedagogic knowledge base. TVET teacher must be a range of entry teaching qualification from postgraduate teaching qualifications and associate degree or degree to various levels of certificates and diplomas. Where TVET teacher professionalization is taking place, initial entry into VET teaching is often, we know, undertaken by technical universities or universities of technology that can offer the technical subjects which will be taught. Yeah, in both the latter intensive, specialist vocational pedagogy is the remit of colleges. Lastly, about practical workplace experience. This includes a regular contact between TVET institutions and workplaces, also twinning arrangements involving industry and unions more closely in defining teachers' future roles. At the same time, work placements, internships, and practical training periods in companies are among the recommendations most frequently cited. Of the three components of expertise I mentioned before, practical workplace experience continues to dominate as the central tenet of the TVET teachers' repertoire, and it is perhaps a retrospective yearning for operational expertise gained at the point of production in work itself as the basis for vocational teaching and learning that foregrounds the need for practical workplace experience. This is not to say that there is not a concern about improving teaching through professionalization based on formal teaching qualifications, but learner diversity in contemporary TVET institutions is clearly a long way from the homogeneous relations of socializations into craft of days gone by, and teaching is recognized as crucial for enhancing learning for all students. Alright, we see now actually a decentering of a teacher may provide us with a semblance of democratic, learner-centered, experientially driven, outcomes-based pedagogy, but it evades the knowledge question. Without access to knowledge in all types of TVET curricula, the ideal of a learning progression continuum that leads to career advancement and mobility will remain elusive. When TVET teachers understand their subjects or fields of expertise in general procedural terms, they teach procedurally. But when they understand their subject or field of expertise as based on its disciplinary antecedents, its applied knowledge base and its repertoire of skills and dispositions. They also will teach in the manner attributed to the established professions. Paradoxically, when they do so, their practice most likely resembles that of the old master artisans as pedagogists. And the crucial difference is that their teaching expertise is no longer based on tacit or uncodified versions of practice, but on a codified, scientifically grounded knowledge base that inform practice. Yes, TVET teachers need to have subject knowledge. and they must need to know how to teach that subject and how to construct a curriculum. This has to be the core of TVET and not the periphery, but in order to replace educational knowledge as generic, with a stronger understanding of the relation between a particular form of knowledge and its pedagogy, we need to move away from the broad brush ways in which we often use the terms knowledge and practice, so that we grasp the constitutive effect that different forms of knowledge have on what counts as practice. Only then we will be able to conceptualize education in general and TVET in particular in ways that avoid low-quality education as poverty threat as the endpoint destination of many young people in different countries. And only then we will meet the knowledge demands of innovation and higher order excellence.